Hey, it's me, Blossom, the mischievous possum, and I'm here to teach you about how to play Healbrand. So we'll start with the basics. First, you'll need to make your build. The build I'm using is on snowcrows.com. I'll provide a link in the description. Here's my build layout. The weapons for this build are axe, shield, and staff. All your gear should be Harrier's gear if you're doing the raid build. However, if you're planning to use this for fractals, then you can swap out a few of them for minstrels. Harrier's gear is power, healing power, and concentration. Minstrel's gear is toughness, vitality, healing power, and concentration. Minstrel's gives a little bit more toughness and can keep you alive in some tricky situations. However, it does take away some of the stats that are important for keeping up healing and for keeping up your boon duration. First, we'll start out with the axe and shield weapons. Axe 1 is your auto attack. It does a decent bit of damage, but you're not here for damage, you're a healer. Axe 2 sets a symbol that gives your allies fury. It's very important. Make sure to use it off cooldown. It sets a circular plane down like this, and any allies in it will get fury from it. Axe 3 pulls enemies towards you, if they're pullable, that is. Make sure to be careful when you're using this, especially in fights like Veil Guardian, where it can be easy to pull adds onto the rest of the party and accidentally wipe the entire squad. An alternate weapon to the axe would be the mace. Mace 1 is a simple smash and bash. Mace 2, like Axe 2, says a symbol on the ground. However, it gives regeneration instead of fury. Mace 3 is a channel and makes a protective barrier. If you need a bit more healing, then you should pick Mace. However, if you need a little bit more fury and more damage, then you should pick Axe. The next things are Shield. Shield 4 provides Aegis, which will defend you from upcoming attacks. It's very useful and can help up to 5 allies. Number 5 is Shield of Absorption. It creates a dome around you that absorbs projectiles. You're going to make sure not to use it in certain fights, like Matthias, where it can miss up some of the reflex. Next, we're going to swap over to our Staff. Staff has multiple skills that are very important. A lot of people tend to camp Axe, myself included. However, it's important to dip into Staff once in a while for its utilities. Number 1 is Auto Attack. It's a long-distance attack that shoots a ball of light at the enemy. It's useful for enemies that you want to deal a little bit of damage to that are further away. It can be useful in fights like Deimos, where you might want to keep your distance because of oils. Number 2 on Staff creates a bolt of light. It'll heal allies around the area and damage foes. It's best used in combination with number 3, which seals a mystic symbol into the ground. Combined, they make an area that cleanses conditions. It can be very useful in Condi heavy fights, like Slothosaur. Number 4 is your most important staff skill. It activates a channel which gives might to your allies. You'll be expected to give might to your allies, however it doesn't give a full 25 stacks of might. Make sure not to move or use another skill while you're in mid-channel, or else it'll end the channel early and it won't provide all the might or healing. Number 5 is not very useful. It creates a ward, but it can be combined with number 2 to make a Condi Cleanse field. Healbrand doesn't have a set rotation. However, there are some skills that you'll probably want to use. I tend to use all of the axe skills I first can. Then I swap over to Staff, activate my channel, set down a 3 and a 2 for a Condi Cleanse, and then swap back to Axe and repeat the process. When it's off cooldown, switch back to Staff and repeat it over and over. That's the basics for the weapons. However, there's still the utilities and your tomes. Your utilities are your main form of healing and boon giving. They're very important. Mantra of Solace gives health and is your healing skill. It also grants protection and quickness to your allies. You want to be careful because all of your mantras have a small range. As you can see, it's only a small cone. Try to be facing your allies if possible. Let's say this golem is an ally. Instead of standing on top of them with the rest of the group, I want to stand slightly behind so that the cone can help. This is true for all of your mantras. So try to position yourself not too far away from your allies, but perhaps just a little bit behind. Next you have Mantra of Potence. Mantra of Potence gives might and quickness. It has the same cone as Mantra of Solace. Next is Mantra of Lure. Mantra of Lure gives regeneration and removes any conditions on you and on your allies. When you're using this, you're going to want to keep one charge of each. As you can see, there's 3. I normally keep 1 in case of emergencies. However, if your health is low in your party, then go ahead and spam it until it's empty. Your 4th skill is the only skill you'll be able to swap out easily. There will be multiple skills that you can pick from for multiple situations. The normal guide will recommend Bow of Truth. Bow of Truth creates a large healing area of arrows. Any allies in that area will get healing. It does have multiple charges. Another popular one is Stand Your Ground. It gives resolution and stability to your allies. It's very important for certain raid bosses. Ones like Karn and Slothosaur, it's invaluable. If you don't need extra healing from Bow of Truth and you don't need stability from Stand Your Ground, then a third option is Advanced. Advanced gives Aegis and Swiftness for up to 5 allies. It's a very useful skill, and I find it more helpful than Bow of Truth in most situations. And your final skill is Feel My Wrath. Feel My Wrath is a shout. It gives all the allies near you high fury. And it's important to keep your fury boon uptime. You're going to want to use it off cooldown. Finally, we're on to the tomes. Tome 1 is mostly used for DPS and isn't very helpful for Healbrand. Tome 2 is invaluable to Healbrand. It's your sort of oops button. If things are starting to go wrong, then you're going to want to dip into Tome 2. Tome 2 does have a rotation in it. You're going to want to remember it. It's a very simple one though, however. You use 5, 4, and then spam 1 until you're out of pages. Simple, right? 2 of 2 does massive healing. It can bring your allies from near death to full health in seconds. Again, it uses a cone shape, so try to be aiming at your allies. Tome 3 is useful for stability. Tome 3 does have a rotation like Tome 2, but you don't have to worry too much because it's the exact same thing. Use 5, 4, and then spam 1. That easy! One more thing. It's important to remember your CC skills. If you don't know what CC is, it's called crowd control. And this blue bar here, the Defiance bar, is what requires CC. Some boss fights require you to break their Defiance bar, or else they'll do devastating attacks that can wipe the entire party. It's important to know your CC skills and when to use them. Healbrand doesn't have much CC, however you can still help out your team. Your CC skills are 3, which is a pull, and 5, which is a knockback. and Sanctuary, which I forgot to mention. Oops. You can swap out your utility skill, like your Bow of Truth, Stability, or Advance for it, and it's useful in either Matthias or Samrag a lot of the times, or any other fight that needs a lot of CC. Number 2 also does light CC with Cripple. You don't have any CC skills on your staff, so you want to keep that in mind. In some fights, you might want to camp your axe a bit so that you'll be able to CC when needed. And that's it! If you have any questions, you can leave them below. Or, I stream Guild Wars on Wednesdays over on my Twitch channel, which I'll leave in the description. You could come and hang out, and I'll be happy to help answer any questions. We even have a guild if you'd like to join that too. Good luck, future Healbrands! See you later! Some raid boss fights require you to break the bar, or else they'll do devastating